Sean from Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio. Welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. We're in a Kenmore electric dryer. Complaint is that the unit will not heat and it will not stay running unless the start button is held down. So we're just going to verify the running of the unit just by the timers in the on position. The start button, obviously it runs, you let go and it stops. So that verifies that. We're going to chase down the heating issue first. It's easier. I want to verify we have the proper power, that we didn't trip a breaker and lose one side of our 110, which would prevent it from not heating. So I have my meter set up for voltage, AC, and I'm just going to check both hot sides of the, maybe not, maybe not. 248, 125, and and 123. Alright, so we have the proper power there. I'm going to unplug the dryer now so that way we can check the different components inside the dryer when it's not heating. So we're going to go down to the front at the bottom. The front panel will open up and then we'll access our components from there. Alright, to remove this lower panel to access all of our components, there's some hidden tabs here. We're going to go ahead and press them in and pop it open. We'll remove our panel. I'm going to set that to the side here. Alright, now to make my life a little easier, I'm going to remove this blower housing. First thing I need to do is open the door and remove our lint screen. And then I can remove the screws which hold this little duct in place. So I'm going to open the door, just remove the lint screen, set it up top. Now they're going to remove the screws. One. And two. And now we'll go ahead and just pull it down. We'll set that to the side as well. And now it just gives me a little bit easier access to my components here. So once again, I'm going to grab my meter, and now I can check out the element, the thermostats, the fuses, and find out what was causing it not to heat. Alright, I'm going to start at the heating element just because it's the closest thing to check. So I'm going to remove one of the terminals off the heating element. I have my meter set up on ohms, and I'm just going to check the resistance between the heating element. Alright, so we have resistance there, so that's not our problem. So I'll plug that back in. I can then go a little bit farther back, and that's where I have a thermostat, your high limit thermostat. Let's get a better look at it here, find out which wire I want to disconnect. Alright, I can actually check them both at the same time. So there's a jumper wire, so I'm gonna try to be graceful about this here. I'm going to check a thermal fuse and a thermistor. And the thermistor is okay. So that exhausts all of our heating options down here. What I'm going to do is just plug the dryer back in. I'm going to hold that, actually I'll put the blower console or cover back on, and then we're going to go ahead and hold that down and just verify that that is actually not heating at all. Put this in position, line up our screw holes. That's there. I'm going to put my lint screen back in by opening the door and inserting it. So that's there. So I'm going to plug the dryer back in. We're going to turn it on. I'm going to look to see if I'm what's going on down here. I'm just going to hold this down to make it run and try to get my head down here to see if we're getting any kind of heat. I'm going to go into the control panel next, and then we can get to all the controls. So I'm going to just disconnect power again. To access the control panel, remove these cosmetic tabs, which exposes a Phillips screw. Now with that, flip it up. It exposes our even heat control board, or relays, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch. The relays are the exact same. I'm going to switch them for the motor and for the heat, and then that way we can at least get to the bottom of one thing. Alright, so I'm going to remove my relays. Loose, we can pull them out, and you can see they're identical pieces. I'm just going to go wire for wire on these and just alternate the two. So I'm just going to disconnect one, exchange it in the same position on the other. Go ahead and remount these in position, and we're going to plug it in and see if that made any difference for either of our complaints. My control panel back down, and I'm going to go ahead and plug the dryer back in and try it again. Okay, so after we swapped out the relays and plugged it back in, still in the exact same situation. According to the schematic, the only thing that is shared by both issues that the customer is having is going to be in the drive motor. So what we'll do is get an estimate together for that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and install a motor. So we're going to unplug the unit. We have 3/4 inch screws up here at the base of the top panel, and we're going to remove those. We can slide our top panel off. Alright, now here we have our door switch and everything that we're going to end up disconnecting. Alright, we're going to remove our blower duct again, and like before, we're going to remove the lint screen, set it to the side, take out the 2 screws. While we're down here, we have our door springs that we can just remove. Just press down and they'll pop out of the holes that they're in. We here have a sensor wire that will just pull straight back and off, just like that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to disconnect the door switch from inside here just by unscrewing it. So I'll open the door again, and the door will flop down without those springs there, so hold that. I'll go ahead and remove the screws and hold the door switch. Now I can pull the door switch up and out, and I'll just set it over here to the side. Now with that out, now we can take out the 4 screws remaining that are holding the front panel on. There are 2 at the bottom and 2 in the very top. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my first one. go to the top. I'm just going to hold it here so it doesn't fall. Damage. Now I can grab the whole panel and get it off, and we will set this to the side as well. And I'm going to disengage the belt on the motor and the idler pulley. We can remove our drum. Now we have access to our motor and all the wiring to it here. What I'm going to do, just to verify, because we did have the heating issue, I'm going to verify that the unit will still actually heat even with the motor replacement, and then before we actually install everything. So I'm going to go ahead and take the new motor out of the box, hook it up, and I can just hold it in my hand or just lay it in the bottom of the dryer or whatever, and we will turn it on and make sure everything's going to function properly. Alright, so I'm going to unhook all the electrical for the motor. There's the main harness, just got a couple of tabs on it on either end, so we disconnect that there. I'm going to take my new motor, I'm just going to plug that one in now. Set that here for now until I get the other wiring out. We have our broken belt switch that also plugs into this. Alright, so we have everything hooked up on the new motor. So what I'm going to do now is I have to lift up on that broken belt switch, I have to hold in the door switch, and then I have to hit the start button, and we're going to make sure that we get some heat. So we're going to plug it in and we're going to do all those things together. So we put the new motor in. I was skeptical that it was definitely only the motor, so before I mounted everything I wanted to double check and make sure we had heat. Put it in, I got the motor dryer to run, but there's still no heat. What that leaves us left at this point is the even heat control, which is a little computer board, which puts the repair not worth the repair. So I'm going to remove our motor that we have laying in the bottom of the dryer, plug everything back in, and we'll reassemble the unit for them. Thank you for watching another quality in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.